This video will explain to you why I don't speak for mixed people, colored people, whatever they identify themselves as. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're discussing the identity crisis in the mixed community. Like I said, this is not to avoid, this is not to offend. Okay, this is not to offend anybody. We are reacting. This channel is all about reacting to people's opinions, right? And we give our own opinion. Okay, so go slow. Whenever you want to take an opinion on me and say, hey, you're being harsh on this, just remember that this is my own opinion. Okay, we as black people already have an identity crisis within our grown group. There are black people who don't even want to identify as plain black. I feel like we need to have a conversation about ethnicity, race, nationality. When we have a clear understanding of those things, then we can talk, because people don't want to self-identify, because self-identifying would mean acknowledging part of your ancestry. But anyways, let's teach the videos, guys. I'm done with my own opinion. I'm done, but I want to hear yours. Let's teach the videos.
Why is it Americans, especially mixed Americans, I'm finding, just have such difficulty understanding that in other parts of the world, when you are mixed, you are recognized, like you are in Africa, like you are in Europe. We are recognized. In Africa, like I said before, but because you didn't watch, and I know you won't watch this one, I am colored. I am an ethnic group that is recognized for being mixed for many generations. And when I'm in England, there was actually an other, and I always ticked an other, because I'm not an African and I'm not a full European, but I am recognized. Remember, the rest of the world is a salad bowl. We all mix. You're nothing but a melting pot that is fucked up. I'd rather live in a salad bowl than a melting pot like you live in.
Hi, I live in Europe and I have a question to you Americans. My kid is mixed too, and I'm very interested. My passion is to study the human ancestors, the human migration, the DNA and stuff like that. What is the DNA percentage you need to have in order to be considered black or white or Asian or whatever? Or maybe the genetic admixture is not that important, or maybe it's more important how you consider yourself, how you identify yourself. My question about the DNA goes also because the majority of the black Americans has about 20% of European ancestry in their blood. Also, a very dark-skinned guy could have a very high European DNA in blood. So is that important or no? Or maybe the word black is also used to culture, way of life, style or something like that. Or maybe it's a mix between the appearance, the culture you have. Then how about the DNA, the genetic admixture?
Content, I'm Puerto Rican. My family's from Puerto Rico. I was born in New York City and I live in the Dominican Republic. The incredible amount of people of color that say the most heinous shit to me because my mother's white Puerto Rican and my father's black Puerto Rican. I literally was told, excuse me, that because my father's black, Puerto Rican, and black, I'm not anything else. In other words, the fact that my mother's side is from Europe, that doesn't matter. That's the one drop rule. It's actually extremely racist. The education in the United States fucking sucks. I'm black, I'm white, I'm indigenous, I'm mixed, I'm proud.
I love this lady. She is sharp as a tack. and thank you to those who tagged me in this video. The breadth and reach of American representation in popular culture and in media, in the science world, has caused a really inappropriate application of American racial politics to the rest of the planet. And this is unhelpful because it only applies to the US. And even within the US, where it is relevant, it causes problems and it's damaging. And it comes down to an American obsession with color and pigmentation, forcing people into boxes depending on literally like a shade chart. And this supplements and justifies puritanical views either on the far left or the far right, wherein a person's worthiness for respect and support directly correlates to their pigmentation. It's so erasive. What white means in the US is almost meaningless anywhere else in the world. What black means in the US cannot be applied universally either. And what happens is everyone else in between, Asian Americans, Latino Americans, Middle Eastern Americans, either get completely erased and swept under the rug or just get lumped in with white people, literally just because of skin color, eye color, hair color. It is gross. Forcing people into boxes because of what they look like is damaging no matter what your intention is. And if the intention is to understand and respect somebody's history, somebody's culture, the context with which they exist in, where they have come from, you have to listen to them. Instead of looking at someone saying, this is what you look like to me, so that's what you are, and you have to behave accordingly, get in your box. That's not diversity, that is prescriptive existence. I grew up in the US within an immigrant household. I am part of an ethnic minority. And although I haven't lived in the US for a long time, when I was still in the US, I would have people, especially colleagues and people in the workplace, speculating about my race all the time because they didn't know how to treat me. It's fucked up. I remember once when I was still living in the US, I worked at Starbucks in my early 20s in a very, very white Mormon part of Southern California. And one of my coworkers found out my background and they were like, oh, I thought you were some kind of Mexican. Now, the group I'm actually part of doesn't warrant any more respect in their eyes. But anyway, stop imposing American-centric views on culture and race on the rest of the world. And if you're not American, don't get sucked into that.
So this isn't my normal deal, but I am half white and half black, but I'm a black man. And I think the point that you're working on is like recognize I've been categorized as a black man. I didn't get any say in it. In every colonized country in the world with people who end up looking like me, we're going to England, Australia, New Zealand, places like that, have at least one generation that was stolen. In Britain, it was after World War II. In Vietnam, it was after the Vietnam War. In Australia, it was in the 1900s to the 1970s. These are people who are ethnically more than one thing, but racially relegated to one thing. Where I'm from, you can say, oh, well, you're half white. Okay, but I can't go to the Klan meetings. I mean, and as far as being like a salad bowl or a mixing bowl and all of that, while America has extreme deficiencies in racial education and racial equity, it is no different than every other marginalized country, every other country that has suffered some form of demoralization through colonization. Everyone. So I hope you don't fall off that, colored high horse you sit on. You might bump your head and learn something. The people in America, we don't get a lot of say, especially if you look like me. And heaven forbid you're darker than me. You definitely don't get no say in what you are. What makes it even worse is people from other countries who look like me or darker than me come here and instantly have a dislike of me because I'm American. Even though culturally we moved the world. Even though fiscally we created this country. Not just that, but the black diaspora in America is often somewhere between 20 and 30% white. Not because mommy and daddy chose to be together, but somewhere in their ancestry, they're 30% white because they're a product of rape. So yeah, I guess you could say we're not colored. We are what we are. But you should come visit and check us out. It's kind of awesome. I mean, it kind of sucks, but it's kind of awesome. It's weird, but feel free.
I am so tired of you non-American black folks doing this whole y'all don't know who you are, especially when you're literally denying the fact that you are black and telling us that we don't know who we are because we are okay with being black. I'm a black woman with 2 black parents deeply embedded in black communities, and you're telling me I don't have a community and I don't know who I am. We're the ones who are black and proud. Y'all are the ones who are arguing with people about whether or not you're black, when we can see your black ass, clear as day. Please stop confusing race and ethnicity and stop being anti-black, because it's really embarrassing and disgusting coming from inside of the community, the black community you're part of.
You think we're the ones having difficulty? I cannot even fathom the amount of internalized colonization that it requires to get on Dr. Umar's internet with dreadlocks and melanin and say you are not black. I mean, if you want to go ahead and claim other, go ahead. But don't claim it just because you're mixed. Africa is the most mixed continent on the planet. East Africans are more genetically different from West Africans than Europeans are from Asians. Now, race is a social construct, so in order to be black, you need to be mentally black, not just biologically. But don't claim other and blame it on the biology. I agree with mixed people that say they're mixed and they're not white. But if you're mixed and you have African ancestry, biologically, you just as black as the rest of us.